the war in Ukraine and the first American civilian to die fighting alongside Ukrainian troops. Former U.S. Marine Willie Joseph Cancel working for a private contractor in Ukraine, leaving a wife and young son back home. President Biden reacting to the loss late today. Meanwhile, in Kyiv tonight, they are taking stock after relative calm. A flurry of missiles struck overnight. The mayor of Kyiv says Vladimir Putin was sending a message after President Zelenskyy met with the UN Secretary General. The battle still fierce in eastern Ukraine. This video released by the Russian Defense Ministry. But a senior U.S. defense official saying tonight that Russia's war has not gone to plan and that their assault on the east is behind schedule by at least several days.
NATO had to scramble fighter jets this week. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, we've all just in the press corps a short time ago received a statement from NATO's Allied Air Command that was a bit surprising. They said that since Tuesday, they have had to scramble fighter jets multiple times, both over the Baltic and the Black Sea region, because of unidentified aircraft approaching. Now, these unidentified aircraft, they say, are Russians, and the typical Russian aircraft profile is to not announce themselves, not to signal with any transponders, just to fly with no flight plan. And what NATO says, and I want to get it exactly right for everybody, that since Tuesday they've scrambled fighter jets from Poland, Denmark, France, Spain, Romania, and the UK, both over the Baltic and the Black Sea, when these Russian aircraft have approached.
Alexanda Kotey was captured by U.S.-backed forces in northern Syria in February 2018. He was a UK citizen and one of 4 members of the so-called Beetles within the terrorist group Daesh. The Beetles were known for their British accents. Kotey pleaded guilty in a U.S. court to torturing hostages and is expected to spend at least 15 years in U.S. custody before being transferred to the U.K. for life imprisonment, and where he may face additional charges. He's been stripped of his British citizenship. Between 2012 and 2015, the Beetles cell is believed to have kidnapped more than 25 people in Syria. Some of their victims were beheaded in videos posted online, usually by the group's apparent leader, Mohammed Amwazi. He was killed in a U.S. drone strike in 2015.
Now, a former general in Afghanistan's National Army has told the BBC that he and many other former Afghan soldiers and politicians are preparing to launch military operations against the Taliban next month after the Islamic Eid festival. 37-year-old Lieutenant General Sami Sadat, who had just assumed command of Afghan special forces when the government collapsed last August, says 8 months of Taliban rule has already convinced many Afghans that military action is the only way to stop their increasingly authoritarian rule.
I was planning initially with my friends to give Taliban 12 months and see if they change. Unfortunately, every day you wake up, the Taliban have had something new to do. They're, torturing people, killing, disappearances, food shortages, children malnutrition, and everything.
A violent explosion tore through Khalifa Sahib Mosque in the Afghan capital of Kabul on Friday. The blast killed at least 10 people and wounded several others, as per Taliban spokesperson. Scores of worshippers had gathered at the mosque for prayers on the last Friday of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Owing to this, the mosque was completely packed, leading to fears of more casualties among the residents.
The sound of gunshots on the streets of Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince. At least 20 people have been killed over the past week alone, many of them caught in the crossfire of rival gangs. This otherwise bustling street was quiet on Friday. Many businesses across the city have closed their doors. Gang violence in Port-au-Prince has worsened since the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse last July. Experts estimate that as many as 90 criminal gangs are actively operating in the city.
From Grand Slams to the Slammer, tennis champion Boris Becker is behind bars tonight after being jailed for 2.5 years. The former world #1 had a meteoric rise to fame, and his downfall was just as quick. Found guilty of breaking the rules of his bankruptcy.
Boris Becker's life changed on court 1 at Wimbledon, so it was fitting that his tie had the British tournament's purple and green colours, as a very different court was about to change his life again.
Are you confident, Boris?
The 54-year-old was found guilty earlier this month of breaching the Insolvency Act, accused of hiding millions of dollars worth of assets, including his Wimbledon trophies, to avoid paying his massive debts.
Roaring, tearing through Kansas. A tornado so violent, so furious.
Big explosion! Oh my God!
It sent fireballs soaring. The temptation to capture the beast up close had this driver heading straight towards the danger.
That is a strong tornado.
From a distance, it was an eerie and almost silent spectacle. Locals pulling out their phones to film the extraordinary scenes as the vortex inched closer.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
But the reality saw the city of Andover's streets blown apart in the twister's wake.
Oh my God.
Cars flung upside down and left lodged in the walls of the local YMCA.